Chinese are demanding renminbi bonds because they don't want dollars. It's pretty simple. And so, with that in mind, China's starting to play a harder game. And quite frankly, I don't blame them, but they're a bunch of crooks as well. They're every bit as bad as Washington. I mean, how do you murder 1 billion people since 1948? I guess they get a lot of ways to do it. I mean, these people are heartless. Just think about that every time you see them move. And here we are openly doing business with a dictatorship that has a public record of murdering people every year. I mean, you know, if you get caught stealing something, they take you and gas you and take your organs so they can sell them. Or however they execute people. I don't know how they do it. They have a van that goes around. And they just go to, you know, the prison, throw them in the van, kill them, and cut them up. I don't know whether you're aware of that, but that's what they do. And so, and all the people they've murdered. Their own people, mind you. I'm not talking about some foreign army. And they're bad, bad, bad people. And they've been rigging their currency for years to make their goods more saleable against other countries. And I've got no use for the Chinese government. Chinese people are very nice. And there's good ones and bad ones like you find every place else. But the government's bad. But there are very few good governments in this world. And historically that's been true as well. But anyway, the renminbi bond should have came years ago, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. And Wall Street doesn't cherish it, and even less acceptance in Washington, but they can't say anything. And so the Chinese want to get rid of dollars, and that's one of the ways to do it. I want to tell you something here. I just got I'm going to give you a progression here. You're going to be patient for a second. I'm going to go back to about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago. The U.S. Treasury bill, 2-year bill, was 0.81. Now look at the progression on this. Excuse me, 0.83. Now here we go. This is from day to day. Probably covers 10, 15 days. I don't have the dates up. Now it's 0.83% yield. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
0.85, 0.87, 0.95, 0.96. I'm going to go to the next page here. 0.92, 0.95, 0.95, 0.91, 0.93, 0.97. Now, on Friday, it jumped from Thursday to Friday, it jumped from 0.97 to 1.30. And today it was 1.43. Now, let me tell you something. That's fierce. And during that period of time, we went from 319 on the 10-year note to 390. Now, do you think the United States government is in serious trouble? And the answer is yes. So, just from 19, we'll say it's 20. They went up 70 basis points, which means that the 30-year mortgage is going to go from 545, where it is right now, to 570. 570 on Friday if this 390 holds up. and it's going to disqualify at least half the people who want to buy homes.
Bob, you said we're going to see 450 by the end of the year. What's going to keep it at 450?
Well, it could happen in the next 3 weeks. I don't know. You know, everything is secret. I have to back into everything.
I mean, what's going to keep it at 450? I mean, couldn't it go beyond 450?
Absolutely. I expect it in the next 2 years to be 780 with the 30-year at 816. And you can book that because that's what's going to happen. And gold will go up during all that time along with silver.
Hold on, folks. We'll be right back.
This is a classic, just like 1978. The crime is just colossal.
You know what? For a long time, people knew there was crime, and nobody cares when it comes to crime. You're listening to Financial Survival, sponsored by Discount Gold and Silver Trading. 1-800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188 for all your gold and silver coin needs. Give us a call, of course, for your complimentary issues to the International Forecaster, 800-375-4188. Bob?
Yes, my child.
Tell us about
the International Forecaster is about business, finance, economic, social, and political issues throughout the world, and even in Happy Valley.
Yes.
You like that, huh?
Happy Valley.
The Happy Valley plug. Thank you. Boy, that's a skinny one. Only 14. Okay, here we go. We got a whole bunch of stuff for you here. Melanie and I have been talking. Anyway, the International Forecaster. We publish by email Wednesdays and Saturdays, and it runs around 35 or 40 pages each time. And we have a hard copy for those of you who are not on the Internet, and we send that out to you twice a month. If you would like to look at our site on the Internet, that address is theinternationalforecaster.com. The International, FORECASTER.com. Or you can email us if you have a question at Bob, B-O-B, at INTFORECASTER.com. That's Bob at intforecaster.com. Now, Melody is going to tell you that you can also call her as well, right, Melody?
Yes, I am going to say that. 800-375-4188 is the telephone number in which you can call for your International Forecaster. But, folks, don't forget your gold and silver coins. 800-375-4188. That's 800-375-4188. We'll be talking a little bit about prices. First, Bob, I think you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, let's give them, and I don't normally do this unless it's a big day, but today is a big day in the sense that gold is off about $9 in the outside month right now. Okay? Here are the closes on the big producing stocks that I follow, which I think are the four best in the world. Agnico Eagle was up 72 cents today, but yet gold's down $9. GG, which is Goldcorp, was up 7 cents. SSRI was down 23 cents, and Mindfinders was down a penny. And so that's a pretty good day. And so I just thought I'd let you know about that. And I told you about the interest rates. I haven't told you about the difference in those days in the stocks because they don't have them. But I want Melody to tell you over that 2 or 2.5 or 3 week period what the coins have done versus the price of bullion.
The lower grade coins, the 61s, 2s, and 3s, they're pretty much holding steady. You had a little bit of gain, $10, $15 across the board on the Mint State 61s, both in the Saints and in the Liberty. So even though we've had a down market in gold, the coins are still increasing. The coins that had the most increases They begin at and I would also include the 64 Saint. That is up $15, which is pretty good when you're looking about. Actually, I took these into effect from May 29th, which is a week ago, and Friday. So gold was down about $25 in that time frame. 65 Saints are up $60. That's up 3%. You had 65 $20 Liberties. They're up $175, up almost 4%. The $10 Liberty and the $10 Indian in Mint State 64, they're both up over 4%. And the 62 $5 Liberty is up over 3%. So those were just some of the bigger gainers. And, the ones that basically we sell, I didn't go